signal decryption handshake is unstable. You may experience visual artifacts. Gen 4 pilot detected. Ready up. Simulation mode is Pilot Hunter.
This is a strike mission. Kill the enemy.
Hello, my name is L. Stones, but everyone knows me by my Air Force call sign, which is Clark Kent 434. And this is the last of the Expeditionary DLC, and this is Wargames. And I think Wargames is probably my most anticipated map of them all. I like the look of it. The orange and blue, I like the feel of it. It kind of gives that when you're using, your Echo Vision, it kind of gives that nice cool feel of it. It's got it's supposed to be very high tech. It's supposed to look like what the tutorial is. You're supposed to be in a simulator. The opening act, where you're in the game, is you actually start out in a, starting up in a simulator, opposed to like any of the other opening acts, which are you come in one of the dropships. This one's very different because you're actually coming in. You start up in the simulator and stuff, which is I think is so epic. This one, the developer said that there is parts of the map, as you'll see in here, are taking places from three different areas. One is Angel City. Trying to think of what the other two are. I think this part right here, where it kind of curves and uses around, it's not Demeter. I've been trying to trying to figure out where is this located. All I know is the other side is actually part of Angel City. I think actually this is. I was thinking that this was probably the what is that one map with the guns and turrets? I also can't think of it. But they've got so many maps. But like I said, it's pieced together of three different actual individual map parts. So but the other side I know is Angel City because you see the warrant signs. So but I'm not sure of the other two. I actually tried to look them up on a couple different websites. Google searched it, and no one really had a exact evidence. You can see that there's a warrant wanted signs, pilot wanted, and those are actually signatures of Angel City. You'll see that on Angel City. That's actually on the main strip. But like I said, I'm not sure of the other two, and so, but yeah, it's very cool. Oh, and I've fallen to the death pit right here, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. And I think this is probably one of my most favorite maps of all times. And so it's just, I like the layout. It works great. It just feels great. There's a lot of bigger obstacles around the outside, so it's a very good map for Last Titan Standing. It's just everything about it is just really good. The walls that they have set up are very good for wall running. Yeah, here's another part of some other map. I'm not sure which one they're duplicating, and the wall running is, I love wall running, and this map is just, the wall running is just so nice and so clear, and it's just, they wanted to make a map that promoted more wall running. They said not a lot of pilots wall run. They play it a lot like Call of Duty or Battlefield, and I try to wall run as much as possible, but this one it's just such a great map with the wall running. And you can see there's the arrows. It tells you where to wall run, just like it does in the tutorial, which I don't think not everyone played the tutorial, or a lot of people forget after they played the tutorial. So, but this is probably by far is still my favorite map. There is no way going wrong. There's nothing wrong with this map. There's a lot of good sight lines, a lot of good areas to go around. There's a lot of flanking routes, and it's just overall a very good map. Sorry that I cannot remember the other two parts off the top of my head of what this map is based off of. But I mean, it is overall a pretty decent map. One thing that it is duly noted, and to the right of me is what is called the death pit. You saw me earlier. I fell into it and I hinted to it. The death pit is something they put in there. They mentioned that it was actually in the tutorials, and if you fell in the death pit during the tutorials, you usually got killed, and that's why it's red and it's big and square and it's deadly. And that's the problem with the death pit, is if you're not curious if you don't know where it is and you fall into it, the chance of you getting out, because it's so large and it's kind of have a smoother contact than most walls, so it's a little bit harder to hang on to and you know, jump off of. That makes it easier for you to slide down and fall. That was the whole purpose. You will die, and that's the whole point. You know, smoother walls, easier to slide off. You can bounce off and jump up onto it, but it's a lot more difficult. And yeah, you will fall off and die. I think I do have gameplay. I think this is the one that I actually fall back into later on, but I get myself out. But I watched two friendly, watch a friendly and an enemy. They get into the death pit and they don't pay attention, and because of the walls of fear are slightly smoother, they lose their grip, and they just slowly, they try to jump up, but since the walls are so wide, they just lose it, and they can't maintain it, and they just fall down and die. So you got to be careful of the death pit. Now I kind of wish it was a little bit easier for Titans to fall in there. It is wide enough. They did say, developers, when I was reading some stuff before the map pack came out, the DLC, that they said that, you know, it's big enough for a Titan to fall in, but I didn't realize it wasn't accessible for a Titan to fall in, which I think would have been a whole lot cooler if it was more accessible for a Titan to fall in, because then you can bait and switch a Titan to fall in, and that way, you know, if you could bait and switch someone to fall in, then it would make it a lot more profitable. You know, you could actually, you know, get someone to fall in there, and then you could survive or something, and I think that would be really cool. But you know, it's just, you know, it is what it is, and you know, there's nothing you can do about that. One other interesting feature on this map compared to different ones is when you kill someone, they kind of digitally deconstruct. You see some of the buildings right here. You see kind of the digital, like, little bricks and stuff as it goes from a training to a certain type of map of a location. When you kill someone, you'll notice that they digitally deconstruct, and that is a cool feature they've actually put in. That was something unique to this feature. Earlier on, you saw me that half digitally holographic map, and you see that kind of like that bar stand right here. And that was some features that they actually did like that. They didn't want to fully. They decided to, like, make some of the buildings look like they were partially like they weren't fully graphically designed, and that was like they were partially in holographic, and that was, I think, a cool feature that they, you know, that they chose to do, because it gives us, you know, a different element of the map of Wargames, and I absolutely love it. And I think I just watched that guy fall in. I think this is where I see the two people fall in or something. But it's I gotta say it's definitely adds a different element, because with the digital, because it gives us this digital feel. It's all holographic. It's very edgy. It's very futuristic, and it's something that you don't see on any other shooter. And I really do like it. It's just really it's a really cool feel. It's definitely a really cool feel. I wish you know more shooters kind of did something like this, or something cooler like this, but you know, they don't, and that's okay. But I gotta say, it's definitely a cool feature. I'm glad that they kind of put it in there, and I'm really, like I said, it gives a really awesome element. So, you know, wrapping up, this is kind of how Wargames feels. You might ask, well, you know, you did Swampland and you actually pointed some interesting things about different tactical abilities. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, there isn't really one benefit. That only reason I'm not going to mention anything here, because there really, there isn't, you know, a unique feature to recommend. That was specific to Swamplands due to the kind of smoke and mist and foliage that I noticed that cloak was better. Oh, and here's the two guys dropping in the pit, and I actually started to fall. And as you see, the pit is definitely, I started falling. As soon as you start going into that red, you can't really grip anything. It becomes kind of they're gone. So yeah, watch out for the death pits. But like I said, this map, you know, you can play it basically in any style. The wall runs, you can definitely get faster to. I'm looking down there again at the death pit, kind of give you a feeling. You can definitely get faster between point A to point B. So this is a really fast action map on any game mode, and that's a cool thing about it. But other than that, you know, there's not much else to say about it. I mean, it's a cool futuristic map, and I really enjoy it. I can't wait to see what they do with the next DLCs. I think they're calling the DLC when they do them in development, they call them drops. So the next one, which is it's codenamed Drop 2, until we actually get the specific words. I mean, this was called Drop 1 until they, you know, called it Expedition. I'm not sure what they're going to do for the next one. I would like to see weapons, but they've already mentioned on their update blog that, you know, they really think that the game is extremely well balanced. They don't really want to add weapons unless there is a balancing need for it. So I don't expect us to see weapons or maps or anything like that, or not maps, but weapons or Titans to come in, which is a kind of a sad thing. But I guess we'll just be getting more maps, which is, it is what it is. But I mean, if they feel like the game is balanced enough as it is at this current stand, well, you know, it's their choice. And I get ripped out. I was too close to them, but I'm not going to argue with them. If you get something really balanced and you start adding stuff and it starts to become unbalanced, then it becomes a giant nightmare. So, but you know, that's their prerogative. So, well, that is Wargames, guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. Like if you liked the video, dislike if you dislike it, and I will catch you guys later. Have a good day.